evening, everybody. When Greg wanted to go first, I was a bit nervous because I know that he has a lot of PowerPoint presentations, and I am not a PowerPoint man. When I teach my class, I say I have pen points, not PowerPoint. That's my style. And also, when David said there are two stimulating economists, and I thought, what an oxymoron is it? Economists are never stimulating. And I spoke to some people, they said they never liked economics in my classes. So I'm facing a challenge in trying to talk to you about it. Now, when I spoke to David, when David invited me to take part in this town hall, I was quite delighted because I've known David for a long time. We have worked together on he was, first time I think I met him on a healthy Calgary project, communities, and I was quite delighted to work with him. Such a passionate public, he works for the public good. And of course, Greg and I, he hired me at the Department of Political Science at that time, so I was quite pleased to be here with you all. Now, when I asked David, the question is, what we want to see Alberta in 2025? What's the vision of Alberta? I want to read for you all what I see as an Alberta. I came across this interesting vision. To me, Alberta should be more economically diversified, more caring and supportive of its citizens, more environmentally responsible and economically sustainable. This is a vision we want to see in 2025. What type of city, what type of province? In one word, I want Alberta to be the province where all Canadians want to live. A province that is full of richness, full of prosperity, and we share it with our people. Now, how to get to that? I'm going to look at two issues today. One is the economy has to be diversified because that's an important issue for us as a challenge, because we are still predominantly depending on energy sector, as Greg pointed out. Just to give you some numbers, and I don't have it on this PowerPoint, but I will just read out for you all. Our economy is still dominated in the sense that the GDP, the gross domestic product, 31% still comes from the energy sector, oil and gas sector. Manufacturing only contributes to 7.3 sector, 7.3 of the total output, manufacturing. And tourism, which I feel is Alberta, such a beautiful country, beautiful province. I have brought in my friends from Sri Lanka, some friends who came from Australia. I've taken them to see. They said they have never seen a beautiful province like Alberta. Lake Louise, I have taken them to see Lake Louise. He said, this is the best province, beautiful place I have seen. So we get a lot of potential for tourism. So I think the challenge ahead we face is to diversify the economy in order that we can create jobs in different areas. We are not dependent on only one source of revenue, so that we are not susceptible to the changes in oil prices, fluctuations. So I think the challenge for me as a policy person, what Alberta needs to do is to move away from oil sector, energy sector, to create jobs in areas of manufacturing. We need to have more value added here. We should not be sending our raw materials to other provinces or other countries. We need to create more jobs processing the raw material here. That way we create more jobs in manufacturing. We must exploit the potential for the tourism. We have got Alberta is one of the most beautiful provinces in the world, I would say. So we need to make use of our nature's gift, nature's endowment, in order to get the best possible results. Even though we may be diversified, I still believe that Alberta will depend on oil and gas sector. It's going to be an important sector. So I'm going to look at some of the challenges we are going to face in regard to managing the oil and the energy sector. I'm going to look at two issues here. One, how are we going to manage it responsibly and economically, in the sense of sustainable type of development in our country, in our province? Second, what contribution should this sector make to the province's revenue? These are two important issues. At the moment, Alberta has a very bad name internationally, because they talk about dirty oil, because oil sands development, as you all know, I don't need to go into all the details. There are so many negative impact of oil sand development. One, the water usage so huge. I was reading an article that it said it takes about 4 to 5 barrels of water to do 1 barrel of oil in the Alberta, in the oil sands sector. So huge amount of water is being used in this sector and thereby depriving others of the water resources. So this is a challenge we have to face. So second, of course, we know that I just want to show you off. In terms of carbon emission, I think we are facing a crisis here.